Today we're going to show you how we take scrap pieces of wood, make a blank, and then with just 5 easy cuts on the table saw, turn them into these awesome triple tiered playing card holders that each hold almost a full deck of cards. I started making these back when my wife worked for a seniors day home program, and a lot of the seniors loved to play cards, but a lot of them had arthritis in their hands and had trouble holding onto cards for a long period of time. So these were the perfect solution for that, and they loved them so much that they had us make more for their grandkids because the kids had trouble holding on to cards. So we made more for the kids. But they're not only great for seniors and for kids, they're great if you have games that either have lots of cards or for those days that you're just feeling lazy. We're going to start by making a blank that's 3 inches wide, 2 inches tall, and well, length doesn't really matter. I like to do mine about 10 inches long, but you can go longer or shorter depending on your preference. If you have a piece of 4x4, that works great. If you have 2x4s, glue 2 of them together to get your height. I also use pieces of 8/4 hardwood that I have left over from other projects. I've made a list of the 5 cuts we're going to make. I've put a printable version in the notes down below to make it easy for you when you're in the shop. Let's talk about saw blades for a second. Different types of blades will give you a different type of groove. Many combination blades will give you a V-type shape to the bottom of a groove, where a lot of rip blades will give you a square bottom. If you have a blade that gives you a square bottom, go with that and to give you a little better fit for the cards. If not, then go with what you have. For our first 3 cuts, we need to adjust the blade about 7 degrees. Don't have an angle finder? Just estimate it. On most table saws, that's about 3 turns on your adjustment wheel. For our first cut, we're going to set our blade a 1/2 inch high and our fence at 7/16 of an inch. We'll adjust our blade height for our second cut to 1 inch high and our fence at 1 5/16. Keeping the same orientation, we'll run it through again. And then finally our third cut, where we'll move the blade up to 1 1/2 inches high and set our fence at 2 3/16. Now we can move our blade back to its normal 90-degree angle for our final 2 cuts. We're going to flip our piece of wood on its side so our cuts are away from the fence and the short groove is at the top. We're going to set our fence at 1 7/16 of an inch. I like to set my blade height a little lower than the 1.5 inches that it says on the sheet, because we're going to work our way up slowly until we just remove that second part of the wood there and we don't cut into the playing card holder. We're going to lower our blade down till it's just a little below 1/2 inch high, readjust our fence to 13/16, and again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to run it through multiple times, raising the height slightly until we just cut off that last piece of wood. And there we have it, 5 cuts, and we have our tiered playing card holder. All that is required now is a little bit of sanding, and you're good to go. If you got some value out of this video, please hit like. We have lots of other fun projects in the works, so hit subscribe to follow along.